Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing, like and share and comment. So today I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew this Floral Maxi dress you see on the screen. Very easy and simple to make. So if this is what you want to learn, then don't skip on my video. To my returning subscribers, I say a very big thank you for always coming back to watch my video. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. So to make this Floral Maxi dress, you'll be needing your basic dress pattern, which I've already drafted in front of me. And this pattern is going to be for the front and the back, because this dress is not going to have zip at the back because it's a stretchy fabric I'm using. And this dress will be having pockets and a short sleeves as shown on the screen. So I'll be going through how I drafted this dress pattern. So this is my shoulder line, and I took 2 inches for the depth of the back neckline and then 4 inches for the width of the back neckline, and also for the front neckline I took 4 inches for the width, and then for the depth I took 4 inches. That's 4 by 4 inches for the front, and then 4 by 2 inches for the back. I mark 1 inch on the shoulder point where the shoulder ends. Half of my shoulder measurement is 8 inches, so I mark 8 inches for the half of my shoulder measurement, and I came down by 1 inch and connect from the neck point to meet the 1 inch here, and I drew a straight line. That's my armhole depth, which is 7.5 inches, and I find the midpoint of the 7.5 inches, and I came in half an inch for the front armhole because the front armhole is a bit deeper than the back armhole, and I mark the back armhole. I'll be marking half an inch on the shoulder line for the sewing allowance. So this half an inch is for the journey allowance on the shoulder. So this is my chest line. On my chest line, I mark cut off my bust measurements. My bust is 43 inches. Cut off my bust measurement is 10.75, which I mark here, and I added 1 inch for side seam allowance. And this is my bust point. From my shoulder to my bust point is 11 inches, and my shoulder to my waist is 17 inches, and shoulder to the hip line is 25 inches, and the full length of the dress is 53 inches. So on the waistline, I mark cut off my waist measurement plus 1 inch for that, and then 1 inch for side seam allowance. So my waist is 39 divided by 4 is 9.75. So I marked 9.75 here, and I added 2 inches, 1 inch for the dart, and then 1 inch for the side seam allowance. So coming the hip line, I mark cut off my hip measurement, which is 11 inches. My hip is 44 divided by 4 is 11 inches, and I added 1 inch side seam allowance. On the hem line, whatever I got on the hip line together with the seam allowance, I marked the same down the hem line. So the next thing I did was to divide my bust span into 2. Your bust span is your nipple to nipple measurement. I divided it into 2, and I got 4.5 inches. My nipple to nipple measurement is 9 inches divided by 2 is 4.5. So I mark 4.5 on the bust point here, on the bust line. This is my apex. So from this apex, I mark 4 inches all the way down to the hem line. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to create the darts. So to create my darts, on this dart line, on the bust point, I'll be coming down by 1 inch, and then I'll be taking half an inch on each side of the waistline. The 1 inch I added for the dart is what I've taken here. So coming to the hip line, I'll be going up by 1.5 inch. So the next thing to do is to connect the points for the darts. Don't forget that I'm drafting the front and the back dress bodies together, and it's on fold. When you want to cut it on fabric, you should put it on fold. So this is our darts. So the next thing to do now is to create the bust darts, and to do that, on the bust point line, I'll be coming down by 1 inch. You can come down 1.5, 2 inches, depend on the size of the person, but I'm coming down 1 inch, and I'll be connecting from this 1 inch to the apex here. We'll be cutting this dart off, and then I'll be cutting also the side darts. So our basic dress bodice pattern is ready, as you can see. After marking 1 inch for the side seam allowance, I drew a straight line to meet the hemline. So the next thing I'll be doing is to cut it out. So I'll be cutting it out. I cut the back neckline first, then I cut the back armhole first. I cut the shoulder. When I lay it on my fabric, then I'll cut the front neckline. So the next thing to do is to cut out this dart here. So I'll be cutting on this line. Next, I'll cut out the bust dart so that it helps me to get the opening I need for the maxi dress. With my masking tape, I'm going to cut the dart out. Then I'll hold the side dart with my masking tape. So guys, our basic dress pattern is ready. So guys, we finished with the drafting of the dress pattern. So this is it, as you can see. I slashed it open so to give me that flare effect at the bottom of the dress. So the next thing to do is to be cutting it on the fabric now. So this is the fabric I'm using. This is 2 years because I don't have enough fabric with me in the house. This is 2 years, and it's not going to be enough for the facing. It's going to be enough for the dress. You can use 3 years, depend on if the person is plus size. You can use 3 years, 2.5 years. But I'm using, this is 2 years, and I'll be using this also a knit fabric. This also a knit fabric. It's a lycra fabric, and this is the knit fabric. And I'm going to be using this to cut out the facing, and I'll be using this also to cut out the pocket because this dress is going to have a pocket. So I'll be laying the pattern on the fabric and cut it out. So let me do that. So guys, I have laid the pattern on the fabric, and I folded the fabric into 4, both for the front and for the back. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out the back neckline, the shoulder and the back armhole, and then cut the front neck and then the front armhole. So this is it. Let me get my chalk. So the dress length is 53 plus 1 inch for the hemming allowance, so it's 54. So this, with this paper, I got 54 here. So the only thing is I'm going to mark it like so. So I'm cutting the bottom first. Then I cut the side. Don't forget that all the side seam allowances are added on the pattern. I'll cut the armhole for the back. Then I cut the back neckline. This for the back. Be careful so that you should not cut the front together for the back. So guys, this is it. So I'll be marking the front neckline. I'm using the chalk to mark my front neckline so that I can take it out, remove the back one, and then cut the front neckline, and then cut the armhole also for the front, as you can see. So I'm taking the pattern out. So next is to cut the faces. So this is the front pattern, and this is the front armhole. You see that I'm dipping the front armhole, and this is the front. So this is the lining. So on the armhole, I'll be going down by 4.5 inches. Because I'm going to cut the lining up to this side. I'm going to cut the lining to cover up to this side. I'll cut the front first, then I'll cut the back. So this is it. This is for the front. And I'm going to mark the 5 inches or 4.5 inches beneath the armhole point. And I'll mark a straight line. And I'll cut the excess up. Let me notch the middle. And I'm going to line it. I'm going to sew in the neck, round the neck, and turn it inside. And I'll be doing the same to the back. And then come and show you the next step. So guys, I'm done with the facing, and I went ahead and ironed it neatly. Look how neat it is. This is the front, this is the back piece, and then I did the same to the front piece. This is the front piece, and I ironed it neatly. So the next thing to do is to measure the length of my pockets before showing you how to join the shoulders. So I'm marking 19 inches for the length of my pockets, and I'm marking 7 inches for the pocket opening. You can mark 18 inches depending on the height of the client you are sewing. And also, usually we measure 2 inches or 3 inches below your waist line. That's where the pocket starts from, depending on how you want to fix your own. So I'll be marking 19 inches from the highest point of your shoulder. You are going to mark. So I've already cut down the pocket. I'll mark it on the other side and also mark it on the front bodice. So I've already cut down the pocket. I cut it right angle, and then I kept one side of the pocket. This is it. The pocket is 4 pieces, 2 for the front, 2 pieces also for the back. So this is the pocket. I'll be illustrating how I cut the pocket for those beginners to understand it. So I cut it 8 inches, 7 inches for the pocket opening, and then 1 inch for the sewing allowance. So half inch here, half inch here, and 7 inches. This is the pocket opening. So I cut 8 inches by 12 inches. It depends on how deep you want your pocket to be. So this is 12 inches. So on the one side of the pocket, you are going to curve it. You can use your curve ruler, or you can use freehand. So one corner of the right angle, you are going to curve it with a curve ruler, or you can use your freehand. But I'm using my freehand. You curve one side of the pocket like this. And then you open it. So this is the pocket. You cut 4 pieces. 2 pieces for the front, 2 pieces for the back. So guys, before I show you how to join the shoulders, let me mark the pocket length and the pocket length is going to be 19. From the highest point of your shoulder, you are going to mark 19 inches where the pocket will start. So this is 19 inches where the pocket will start, and the pocket opening is going to be 7 inches. So I'll be marking 19 inches on the other side. Please don't use marker, use chalk. Please don't follow what I'm doing with the marker. So I've notched the 19 inches point where the pocket will start from, and I went ahead and notched the other side, and I'll be doing the same thing on the front panel. So this is it. So let me show you guys how to fix the pocket. I'm going to be pinning the pocket down. So you pin the pocket on the 19 inches notch here. You pin it like so. The curved side will be inside and the straight parts will be on the edge here. You pin it exactly on the 19 inches. I'm going to pin it down like so. And I'm going to pin on the other side and show you. So I'm done pinning down the pocket. This is it. I also pinned down the other piece. And I went ahead and pinned the shoulder. I pinned the one shoulder. So let me show you how to pin the shoulders. Okay, now you take one side of the shoulders, the front, and pin it to the back. You cannot just pin it like this and sew it down like this. It will not give you neat finishing. If you want neat finishing for your shoulder, you hold the facing, one of the facing, open the facing and the main body like this, and then you attach it to the second bodies. You see, when open, this is how it look. So you open the other side, then you pin down the joints. Pin it down like this. Then you come to the lining. This is the main fabric side. Then you come to the facing side. Pin it also down like this. See, and then you sew it with half an inch from this end to this end. There's another method too that is very easy and neat. You still hold the two joining parts like this and then fold it like so, and then you sew it. It also gives you a neat finishing. But this method is easy for me. So I'll go and join the shoulders and then sew the pockets and then come back and show you how to join the main bodies. So guys, our dress is almost ready. So this is it. After joining the shoulders, you see how neat it look. Very neat, and I press it well with my iron. So this is the facing. Now this is the pocket. I've attached also the pockets on both sides, both the front piece and the back piece. So I'll show you guys how I'm going to close the body. So this is the pocket. I pin it down because the material is moving a lot. So without pinning it, I'll not get it right. That's why I pinned all. So this is it. You know, we added 1 inch sewing allowance, the side seam sewing allowance. So you are going to use the 1 inch. You mark your 1 inch. Then we are going to sew it from the bust point. I'm just marking it so that you understand what we are doing. Then you are coming to come in from this pocket end line by half an inch. You are going to sew half an inch all around here. So from the bust line, you use the 1 inch side seam allowance, and then you join it straight all the way to the pocket, and then you go in by half an inch all around the pocket, and then you come out here and continue to the hemline of the dress. And I'm going to sew on this side also the same way I would do to this one. I'm going to do the same to this side. And after you know we added 1 inch for the hemming allowance, so we are going to use that 1 inch and fold it twice to hem the edges. Then before hemming the edges, we'll attach the sleeves. So I've already cut down the sleeves and I've sewn it. These are the 2 sleeves. I want the sleeve longer than this, but the fabric is not enough, so I'll just manage this short sleeve. So if you want to know how to cut these sleeves, I have a video on my channel showing you how to draft a short sleeve pattern, so you can go ahead and watch it that for more understanding. So after sewing the side, hemming them down, I will attach the sleeve like this. This is the front, this is the back. There's no zipper because the fabric is stretching. So this, after turning it inside out, I will attach the sleeves. So please do me a favor to go and search for the short sleeve pattern on my channel and watch it so that you understand what I'm doing here. So this is it. I will attach the sleeve. Very beautiful dress. So you can use crepe fabric, you can use any fabric, but fabric that drapes, that will give the beauty of the dress. So guys, I'm going to sew it, then after I come and show you the finishing look. So if you find this tutorial helpful, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up, share my videos, and also subscribe to be part of this amazing family. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.